The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to Conor Commentary, a hilarious take on news, politics, sports, and current events. It's time to buckle up. Here's Conor.
All right, guys, we are back, and it is week, I don't know, I can't keep track of the weeks anymore. I got to stop doing that. Like 63 or something, I don't know. It's month 14 we're in. Ben's been here for over half of them, right? Everyone comments in how much they miss Ed. No, I'm only kidding. Ben, you've gotten a very high rating from everyone.
Oh, I thought you just said I got really high.
That too. Why, you get really high before the show today? No. I don't mind.
I've never done that before work, ever.
Really?
No.
Nice.
It's a waste.
Yeah, good point.
It's a waste. You want to enjoy it instead of being like, oh, does someone think I'm high?
That's true.
That's such a waste.
Have you ever heard that song? There's a song. Oh, what's the name of it? It's about being high.
But then I got high.
Yes. No. Not by Afro Man.
I thought it was that song.
It's a different one, but he's like in the song. He's like, and then I walked to the store, but I didn't go in because everyone would know I was high.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yes.
I thought you were going Afro Man on me. I was like, yeah, all right.
No, I'm with it. I know that song too. Of course, everyone knows that song. That song was ridiculously famous.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
It was so much fun. It was so stupid.
They still play that song all the time.
Yeah.
That's funny. We were just talking about this before. The Blues Traveler song, Run Around, how they still get paid off that. How much money do you think Afro Man makes a year just from that song alone to this day?
At this point, probably 25 grand a year.
You think so? Yeah. Yeah, because you don't get much when it plays on the radio, right?
No.
It's probably all the movies that it was in the past.
That's where you're going to make the money now, especially years later.
Yep.
Is the license rights for it, like whether you use it in a commercial or you use it in a TV show or a movie. That's where you're going to get the money. Now, like he's getting nothing from Spotify plays.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't pay out a huge ton of money. You have to have thousands of plays to get like $1.
You know what I found out recently is that you know who pays out the most by far, like a landslide?
Who?
Napster.
Oh, yeah. I have heard that.
Someone was telling me that, my buddy recently. I think he was saying it's like for like every 1,000 listens, you get like $1 or something. And they're blowing like every other platform out of the water when it comes to paying artists.
The artists, yeah.
But nobody's on there.
Yeah, nobody uses Napster.
Because nobody listens, but they pay the most by far.
Is Napster like a pay service now?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
I don't either.
All I know is that if you get a lot of listens on Napster, you'll make a ton of money. But unfortunately, I don't think anyone goes on there.
I'd say I miss Napster, but at this point, I can get anything I need.
Right. It's lost its novelty because now there's a million versions of Napster. Everyone has their own thing. I mean, Amazon has Amazon Music now.
Yeah, it was awesome back in the day.
Oh, it was the best.
There's no other way to get. So here it's $4.99 a month, or
so you do
for
have
the
to
Premiere,
pay.
it's $10 a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so it is a pay-for service now. Well, That was the whole thing is why it got shut down is because they gave everything for free.
And they didn't actually do it. It was just peer-to-peer.
Yeah.
So it was just like me sharing with you the Blues Traveler song.
Right.
And we just cut them out.
And what, everyone just kept sharing and sharing and
sharing?
sharing?
Napster created the platform for people to share peer-to-peer.
Yep.
In that fashion. I'm sure it was always around. It's been around for a long time. Ed Sullivan would know.
Yep. He might have created it.
He might have created Napster.
Right?
That makes so much sense now.
He could have had his hands in it.
Son of a bitch.
No, it was,
Ed's got that Napster money.
Yeah, that's what it is. No, it was the guy from Social Network, Seth Parker, right? Didn't he create Napster?
Yeah, Justin Timberlake.
But he didn't make any money from it? Or he made very minuscule money or something?
I feel like he made like $10 million from it, but
right.
I don't think he made much. I know he had some other ventures after that I think he did make a little bit of money. Plus, I think he was an original investor in Facebook.
Right. So I think he's super rich now.
Yeah, I think he's probably in the 100 million club.
Probably, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Probably off of Facebook. You remember Kazaa?
Yeah, a little bit. That was a little after Napster. By that point, I already had my music library from Napster. So,
but Kazaa, they had music, but it also had like porn and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah, Napster did too.
Napster did too?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. I know Kazaa, you could do all sorts of stuff. And I remember when I went to college, I had a professor who was a lawyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you used to be able to sue people based on whatever they had in Kazaa because they were downloading things illegally.
Yeah.
So he would find really high-end, like really wealthy people who were like CEOs of companies or like owned companies, and then he would go to like the judge. I forget what it was, but they would go to like the judge, get the person's like Kazaa like records, and then if they had anything like sketchy in there that they wouldn't want to come out, he would then sue them, and they would have to pay him off.
That was your professor?
Yes.
Jesus.
I won't say who, but how fucking brilliant was that?
Yeah, that's pretty smart. It's
Like
grimy, but it's smart.
it was, right? Because he went down the whole thing, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that makes perfect sense. And I'm like, yeah. And then whatever it wasn't that they didn't want you to know that they had been downloading, they would just pay you to go away. Oh, did we just lose something?
No. It's just the computer said, hey, let's do an update.
Oh, I just saw the thing go on the screen. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah,
All right, so we're good.
after last week's near disasters. People don't know what happened last week after the show.
That's
unless
true.
you told them.
I did not tell anyone except for Ray. I told him after. I'm like, we might have just lost the show.
Yeah, it was close.
Right after, I don't know if we were on air when it started pouring. I think it was right after.
No, it was pouring the whole time we were on air.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, and then just a strong wind gust came through. And I asked the guys here at the building a couple of times in the past, like, have you guys ever lost power here? No, it's like the worst is the lights flickered. That's it.
Yep.
And then we straight up 2 minutes after the show was over, lost power.
Lost power, yeah. Yep. Ray thought we hung up on him.
Yeah,
after.
Screw you, Ray. I didn't like your appearance on the show. Goodbye. No. We love Ray, but
no, the lights legit went out on us, and you were like, I didn't upload the show yet.
Well, I thought I lost the whole show.
Well, then afterwards, I had a serious issue. Ray had to help me make sure that we switched it back to public on YouTube because for some reason it was private.
What, your episode?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah. It might have been something I did or something after. I don't know. But
I didn't make it private. I've never once hit that. Maybe that was
I don't know.
Got screwed because that was what we were in the middle of. Remember, that's what I was in the middle of when the power went out was uploading to YouTube. So maybe there was some kind of malfunction halfway through it.
Yep. And then afterwards, I fixed it, but I put it under unlisted, which again,
why didn't you just call me?
I don't know how to do anything.
You should have just called me and said, "Hey, for some reason this is this. Can you switch it?" And I would have been like, "Yeah, just give me 5 minutes."
That's true. I never want to bother you though.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm your producer. You can bother me.
That's true. You've done an excellent job too, by the way.
Aww.
Great work.
Aww,
Great.
You're so nice.
All right, but we gotta do around the NFL. So that's something I'm gonna do on Wednesdays now. So we'll talk about the top stories from the week prior. The first one is I think it's official now that Dak Prescott did not have a cramp. It was actually a dislocation and a fracture in his leg. Did you know that?
I was watching it live.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
It was terrible.
And then Tony's like, I hope it's a cramp.
Yeah, I gotta hope that's just a cramp.
Really? I've never had a cramp that makes my foot go 90 degrees the wrong way.
I saw him, and then as soon as I saw his face, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I knew his season was over right there.
The season's over. That was terrible because I have him in fantasy.
It was Gordon Hayward-esque.
It was.
Yeah, it really was.
It was really bad.
It's just you knew immediately.
Yeah. So he's obviously out 4 to 6 months, I think they said. Which
he's gone for the season.
Is going to take it through the end of the Super Bowl. Do you think Andy Dalton has any chance to revitalize his career? The Cowboys have a phenomenal offense.
They've got a great running game.
Yep.
Zeke, with all the injuries, is the best running back in the NFL.
They got Amari Cooper.
He's all right. But
they got CeeDee Lamb, who I think's good.
They have a good wide receiving core.
Michael Gallup.
I don't think any one of them are spectacular.
Yep.
But they're all decent. Cooper's pretty good, but he likes to take some time off.
Yeah.
He likes to take plays off. He's got a little bit of the Randy Moss-itis.
He takes a couple weeks off, I feel like.
Yeah, it feels like that from time to time. But I think they'll be all right with Dalton, and I think this is exactly why you signed him. Yep. I feel bad for Dak. Because what did he do in the offseason? No, I'm not signing that $100 million deal. I'm not signing that $100 million deal. I'll play for the franchise tag this year and bet on myself.
Right.
And the year you're betting on yourself, you get hurt.
Yeah, your ankle goes sideways.
I mean, I ain't going to feel too bad for someone that's making $33 million this year.
Right.
But I hope he still gets the fat payday that he deserves.
Yeah, because he looked absolutely phenomenal the first 4 games. He was lights
outstanding. He was in that top 4 quarterback in the league class.
Yeah.
Obviously Mahomes has not been quite the Mahomes that we've seen in the past.
No.
Russell Wilson's been better than we've seen him at a lot of points in his career, but Dak was the best we'd ever seen Dak, and he was playing so well that you could almost look at that and be like, dude, you're one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now.
He looked it, yeah. And the defense is obviously atrocious, but like he would keep them in games because he would just not stop scoring.
Yeah.
They lose 43-40.
Yeah, it's a fantasy owner's wet dream.
It was. And now it's gone like this. It no longer exists. Now everyone except for Ezekiel Elliott's stock's going down on that offense.
Well, I don't know if you should do that.
No?
I don't know. I mean, I think some of those wide receivers are going to do all right with Dalton back there because I think you're going to be in the same situation you were with Dak where you're going to be trailing in these games and you're going to have to make some plays at the end of the game. And what are you going to do there? You're going to throw. My
plan originally was to try and just pick up Andy Dalton, just stream him every week because I think that, like you said, they're going to be losing.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to throw for 1,000,000 yards and like 3 interceptions, but it's not bad. 350 yards, 3 picks, couple TDs. It's a pretty good week.
Yeah. And
then the turnovers will actually help them because they'll score more points and then they'll get down by even more.
Exactly.
But that's fine. That division's a dumpster fire anyways. They can go 6-10 and win the division.
What are they, first in the division at 2-3?
2-3, I think that is first in the division, right? Because I think Washington is, because I think the Philadelphia Eagles have won 1 game and tied 1 game.
Yeah, so Dallas is in first
1-2-1
at 2-3. Philly's 1-3-1. Washington football team is 1-4.
Yep.
And the New York Football Giants 0-5.
They're 0-5, but they're right in the mix. If they win this week and Dallas loses, they're 1 game back.
Who is the worst team you've seen this year in the NFL? Because we've got 3 winless teams. We've got the Giants.
The Jets.
Okay, I won't even finish. This is the Falcons and Jets.
The Falcons aren't that bad. I don't know. Like they are, but
they're pretty bad.
But
dude, they're 0-5.
I don't feel like I know. I don't feel like they're as bad as the Jets, though.
Well, they have way more talent than the Jets do.
Right.
So that makes it even more frustrating if you're a Falcons fan because you're looking at like we have Matt Ryan. He's more than a capable quarterback.
Exactly.
We have Julio. We've got Ridley.
Ridley's nasty.
We've got some studs here.
Todd Gurley.
What's going on?
They can't play defense and poor turnovers.
Yeah, so
that's what I feel like for them.
So they fired Quinn and they fired Thomas Dimitroff, who's the GM.
Yep.
Which is deserved. But then you look at the 0-5 Jets and you go, what the hell are you doing with Adam Gase still?
Right, I know.
How have you not fired this bum?
He has been awful since he's gone there, man. I don't know how they keep throwing him out there.
I think he knows what's in the owner's Kazaa account.
Yes. You think that's what it is?
I think that's what it is.
He's got something up his sleeve, right? Something against them.
And then yesterday, you saw the news with Le'Veon Bell.
Yep. That was my next question.
He's on the street.
Is he going somewhere? And they gave up $15 million, right? Just dead cap.
Yep.
So he's getting paid $15 million no matter what? Is that how that works?
No, dead cap is not the same as money.
As guaranteed, right?
No, okay. It's not the same. I don't know what his guarantees were. I don't remember the specifics of the contract, but someone's going to pick him up.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, you got to look around the league and say, are there really that many good running backs? Is Le'Veon Bell still better than 10 starting running backs?
Probably.
So if you looked around the league, you could go, yeah. And I look at a place that I would go, ooh, that could be interesting because you can catch the ball still.
Yep.
Arizona.
Right.
I know you got Kenyon Drake, and Kenyon Drake's decent.
Kenyon Drake fell asleep for the first 5 games so far, though.
He sure did. But if I was Kyler Murray, I'd be like, hey, can we go get Lev?
Yep.
Because then we have a really nice receiving option out of the backfield.
He wants to go to a contender, though, doesn't he? Isn't that what he said?
Well, money walks.
Right.
Ray says he has $27 million guaranteed.
Wow. Jeez.
Good for him, man.
So that means the Jets have to pay him $27 million?
Yeah.
That's like the Bobby Bonilla contract almost.
No,
well, he's getting paid $1 million for like 30 years. But so that means like a couple years from now, they could still be paying Bell, depending on how long they spread that out for the $27 million.
If I'm Houston, am I done with the Johnson & Johnson experiment of David and Duke?
David and Duke.
Who are not.
D. Johnson and D. Johnson.
Neither of them are any good, really?
David Johnson's very mediocre.
Yeah.
He plods away each week for like 20 touches for like 72 yards, I feel like.
So if I'm Houston, I'm looking at that going, that's an interesting situation.
Yep. If they want to spend some money, they could potentially maybe be somewhat of a contender now that they fired, what's his name? Fired Dave O'Brien. Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien, yeah.
Bill O'Brien. Dave O'Brien's the announcer for the Red Sox. Great guy. Don't fire him.
I love Dave O'Brien.
He's a good dude, awesome. Right?
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah, he's a really, really good dude.
Is he? He seems it when whenever he's announcing, I'm always like, this guy seems like a good dude.
I mean, Don Orsillo doesn't think so, but I do.
Right. We took Don Orsillo's job, but Don Orsillo went out to San Diego and got paid way more money, right?
I'm not entirely sure what the financial situation is there.
Yeah.
But he's in a better situation for him.
Right.
He apparently loves it there.
Does he? Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you not love San Diego, right?
I don't know. It's a pretty awesome place. You keep looking around, like there's other places where he might be able to fit.
Right.
I look at Kansas City.
Kansas City, I know.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I don't know.
There's some limitations on him.
Yep.
Could he fit there?
Right.
There's your contender, certainly.
Yep.
Pittsburgh. Can he go back?
Could he go back?
Nah, that ain't happening.
James Conner.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
James Conner does get injured every season, though. It seems like, knock on wood, but for the guy.
Buffalo.
Do
you love your situation with Moss and Singletary?
Not entirely.
Okay.
Did you watch that game last night?
I did.
They got the doors blown off them.
It was terrible.
It was terrible for the Bills, yeah.
Yeah.
Titans gave it to them.
Yeah, so there's teams, there's options out there where we could see him. I mean, we could even potentially see him in Cleveland if things with Chubb and Hunt don't go well in terms of health, because now Hunt is dealing with an issue himself.
Yeah.
So there are options out there. Would he come here? Would the Patriots have him? No, not likely.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty comfortable with what they have at the running back position.
Yeah, it's very crowded in the New England backfield to begin with.
Yeah. Raiders, you got Jacobs. You don't need it.
Josh Jacobs.
Chicago, you've got Montgomery. You don't need it.
Yep.
Green Bay, you don't need it.
Yeah, Green Bay is crowded.
Baltimore's a little crowded. And Tennessee, I mean.
Tennessee, you have Derrick Henry.
So I look at one other team there and go, how much do you guys like Chris Carson? Seattle.
Right. Chris Carson's a stud.
He's good, but
he has a tendency to get injured as well.
I think people kind of overrate him.
Yeah.
People think he's a little bit better than he actually is. Or maybe I'm underrating him because I'm kind of almost exclusively looking at fantasy sometimes with him.
That's true.
and that's where he kills you.
Right.
So, I honestly could be having that kind of moment. But there's some teams out there that I could look at them and go, that could be a fit. Carolina could be a fit if they keep finding themselves in the hunt in that division.
Yeah.
Because right now, they're second in the NFC South.
Right. They got Christian McCaffrey coming back, though, and Mike Davis has been unreal.
Yeah.
From a fantasy standpoint, at least.
Yeah.
That guy's been a star, but now he's going to completely lose his role again, I think.
So it's interesting. Yep. Could someone pick up Lev Bell? Absolutely.
We shall see. Another big story that came out today. Did you see the Melvin Gordon news?
Do we?
Yes.
Got a DUI?
So he was going 25 to 39 over the speed limit, I think it was.
That's a large range.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought, too. I was like, what is it? Like? So he was either going 80 or he was going like 104.
I'll take the 104.
104, yeah. So what do you think the penalty for that's going to be? And the NFL, who knows? It could be like a $5,000 fine, or it could be like an 8-game suspension.
I don't think they'll go that far.
No, I don't think so either.
My guess would be 2.
2 games, yeah.
Yeah, that would be my guess, is a 2-game suspension for him.
But it's probably not going to affect him this Sunday, right?
Probably not.
Because even if they were to come out and suspend him, then he would appeal, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
And then the appeal process takes a little while.
Exactly. So I'm not entirely sure if he would be available to them this Sunday, but I think it's likely he gets a 2-game suspension.
That's what I was thinking, man. I think probably 2 games, which is inevitable. So if you have him in fantasy, 2-game suspension's coming for that guy.
Yeah.
Which is good for Philip Lindsay.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have him. Why, you don't like Philip Lindsay? You have no
I had him the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He was all right.
He's been pretty good.
When I watch him, I'm like, this kid's pretty talented. And then I keep going like, why do they keep taking him out? Like,
and then they give the ball to Royce Freeman.
Yeah, I keep, when I watch Broncos games, or at least when I watch them on the red zone, I'm like, Philip Lindsay's talented. He's good. Can you make him the premier back?
Right.
And for some reason, they refuse to do it.
They never do. I don't know if they're afraid of like durability, if they think he's going to get worn down, if they make him like a workhorse. But obviously, they didn't have that much trust in him. They went out and paid Melvin Gordon.
That's just dumb.
I know.
If you're worried about wearing him down, wear him down.
Right.
That's what you do. You wear him down, you pay him, so that way you're not paying all these other bums to be a platoon running back situation.
I know.
You have your guy, and you bet on him and say, all right, I'm giving you a 3-year deal, a 4-year deal, and wear him out for 4 years. We've seen running backs, they get worn out in 4 years. Look, Todd Gurley, not the same guy he used to be.
No, definitely not.
Le'Veon Bell, although you could kind of put in that situation where he takes a year off, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and it being the
not
Jets,
the same guy he
he's
was.
not the same. No.
David Johnson.
Nope. David Johnson is a shell of himself.
Exactly. So
he only had like 2 good years.
Melvin Gordon's
okay still. He's all right.
So these guys, especially running backs, have such a short shelf life.
Right.
I would just maximize that shelf life instead of trying to get an extra 3 years out of longevity out of them. That to me makes no sense.
And I feel like rookies are always really good right away at the running back position. Like quarterback, like other positions, they take a little while to develop sometimes. But I feel like running backs, they can come in and be good day one.
Yes.
So it's like after a little while, there's a new round of like running backs that are going to take over.
Yeah, it's every couple of years. All of a sudden, you see McCaffrey show up and he's fantastic as a rookie and then blows the doors off his next year. Saquon Barkley, amazing as a rookie. Ezekiel Elliott, amazing as a rookie. Gurley, like these guys were, well, Gurley had a weird situation because I think his rookie year was in St. Louis before they moved to LA.
Yep.
And I think it was a little odd there.
Yep.
Because
the first
Jeff
year
Fisher's
was, and then the second year he had a good year.
But we see this all the time with running backs. They're productive for 4, maximum 5 years, and then it really starts to hit that cliff, and they're not good anymore. They lose a step.
That's what happens when you take 20 hits a game from a linebacker.
Yeah.
They slow you down in your tracks over time.
It amazes me because we look at these guys and we see how they're breaking down, and if you remember a generation, maybe I guess 2 generations ago, you had these guys that were getting the ball all game.
Yep.
Everyone was running far more.
Yep.
And they were taking huge hits. Guys like Emmitt Smith. Yep. Barry Sanders. Like Barry Sanders was still the man 10 years into the league and putting up like 1,800 yards in his final season.
Emmitt Smith, too. Emmitt Smith was around forever. Curtis Martin
was awesome.
He was awesome
forever.
For a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Frank Gore's still doing things.
Frank Gore's going to be the starting running back for the Jets, I think, right?
I think so. I don't know.
Who else do they have?
I have no idea.
I think it's Frank Gore's job, or I think they have some rookie who's like a no-name, but I think it's Frank Gore's job to lose all of a sudden. All right. Also, big story on Sunday. We had the return of Alex Smith, who got the what's the word for it? I don't want to say it was the pleasure of coming back against the Rams with the Washington football team protecting him, and they let him get the bag beat out of him. That was kind of difficult to watch, man. I mean, good for Alex Smith, man. Congratulations. Good for him coming back after that awful injury. And then he took 6 sacks. And they just harassed him.
Yeah, Aaron Donald was just assaulting him.
He was. It was 4 sacks from Aaron Donald by himself, right?
Yeah,
I think he got sacked 6 times.
That was one of those moments in the NFL where I'm watching it with one eye open, one eye closed.
Yeah.
Going, I don't want to see it again. Yes. I don't want to see it again. Please don't. Please don't. Okay, he's okay.
Do you think he regrets coming back?
No.
To do that now?
No, because I think a lot of it has to do with his kids and proving to them, like, hey.
Yep.
You get a major setback, you got to fight your way back.
Right. And he did, man. Good for him. Congratulations. I was just like, this is tough. He came back, and now he's getting assaulted by the Rams with this awful offensive line.
Pat O'Leary says, the biggest accomplishment from what I seen of Alex Smith was seeing how smoking hot his wife is. Listen, Pat.
That's a good accomplishment. His wife looked really nervous in the stands. Did you see her?
He's an NFL quarterback.
I know.
Find me one that has an ugly wife.
Yeah, seriously. Although, what was it, Ted Johnson, when they asked him once on the radio?
No, that was about Vince Wilfork's wife.
That was Vince Wilfork's wife, I know. But they were like, who is the ugliest wife in the Patriots? He's like, Vince Wilfork.
Yeah.
How do you fall into that trap?
I'll just tell you this. I'll take Vince Wilfork in that fight, man.
Yeah, touche. You've seen them both up in person,
I've never met Ted Johnson, no.
No?
No, I've never met him.
But you've met Vince Wilfork?
Yeah, every Monday.
Yeah.
For a couple of years before he left for the Houston
He's
Texans.
extremely fast, right?
He's one of those guys that's kind of a freak athlete. He's pretty fast. He could dunk.
Could he?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause he was only like 6'2", right?
Maybe 6'3".
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm 6'1", and he was like a couple inches taller than me.
And like 200 pounds heavier?
Oh, easily. He was probably 160 pounds heavier than me because I'm 200 pounds.
Yes, he was over 350 probably, right?
Yeah, so I'm thinking he was like 360.
Oh my goodness, yeah. What is he up to now, you think? Text him and ask him.
Living his life.
Do
I have Vince Wilfork somewhere?
Tell him we said hello.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Vince. Remember me?
Remember that guy that sat in the other room that you'd walk past?
It's me.
It's me.
Ben.
I do have his number.
Nice.
Who knows if it's still his number.
Honestly, some of those people I know I heard that first by Joe Rogan that they change their phone number every few months. Joe Rogan said that because people would get his number and then it would be all sorts of random people always texting him. So every few months he would just change his phone number.
Yeah, it might be different for him.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I have two numbers in here for Wilfork.
You know what I mean? How many people are probably trying to get in touch with Vince Wilfork at this time?
Yeah.
People on Joe Rogan, they're probably just trying to get on his show constantly. So anytime anyone gets his number,
he probably just gets bombarded. And, like, for me, I've never given anyone the numbers I have.
Yeah.
I know, except for one person one time. And he proved to me why you don't ever do that.
Touche.
And it was actually pretty funny. So my brother, I think it was opening day for the Red Sox. My brother was with his friends at this bar. I think it was Bleacher Bar, right across from Fenway. And my brother was texting me. He's like, fucking Steve Levy's here from ESPN. I was like, oh, okay. Why would I care? He's like, it's just funny. So I texted him Steve Levy's number.
Yep.
And they started doing exactly that. Because they're sitting there watching him from across the bar and they keep calling him.
Yeah.
And watching him go like, what the fuck? Who is this? So they just kept calling from each other's numbers.
Yeah.
And kept fucking with him. And I was like, this is exactly why I don't share this shit.
They should have texted him.
Like my brother was the one person I thought wouldn't mess around with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he must have been hammered.
Yeah, probably, right?
And he started messing with him and I was like, damn it, Dave.
Be like,
stop.
How's that Bud Light, Steve? What do you think of the game right now, Steve?
You really like those jalapeno poppers, huh, Steve?
That'd be creepy, huh?
Hey, Steve, you got a little cream cheese on your chin.
Well, that would actually help him out, right?
That's a nice thing to do.
Touche, exactly. All right, last big story from the NFL and the Patriots, more importantly.
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore's wife
Yes.
is saying he absolutely did not go out to eat with Cam Newton.
I believe it.
Me too.
I believe it.
Right.
Because to me,
Who came up with that story to begin with?
I don't know, but once I heard it, I was like, it's a little fishy.
Yep.
This is a little odd. It sounds like someone's just connecting dots without knowing the truth and putting it out there like it's fact. That's how it kind of played off to me.
Right.
So I was always kind of leery of it and like.
And it was like the time frame was after he tested positive, right? So do we really think
they were saying it was like the Thursday? It didn't make the story didn't make sense to me. Not that it's necessarily not true, but now that she came out, I'm like, yeah, that definitely feels like it's not true. Ray's saying that Adam Schefter reported it first.
Oh, really? Adam Schefter usually doesn't report things that aren't true, but
Schefter's not always right, though.
That's true. That's true.
He's not like Wojnarowski. Who's always right. Adrian Wojnarowski is the Schefter of the NBA.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
He's always
he just knows everything.
Yeah, but Schefter's not always right.
Right.
These reporters aren't always right. First of all, if you want to just get a highlight of how wildly inaccurate they can be, what did we keep hearing all offseason once Tom Brady was in Tampa and before the Patriots signed Cam Newton? What did we keep hearing? What was the narrative?
Jared Stidham was going to start.
They love Jared Stidham. He's the guy. Blah, 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 blah.
We didn't hear anything about Cam Newton being signed until basically it happened. I felt like that happened out of thin air. It was at my house. Like I didn't even remember about Cam Newton. And then I saw a thing on Twitter that the Patriots signed him.
Yeah, my buddy texted me.
And I'm like, I haven't even thought about that in months.
Yeah. But there's two things. One, you can't completely trust them. Not because they're lying to you.
Yep.
But you have to understand their source has an agenda.
Yep.
And what is the source's agenda? Now, you don't know who the source is.
Depends.
But you always have to look at it with kind of a crooked eye when they say sources with it inside the building. They're saying, who is the source?
Right.
And then you got to go, why did they give you that information?
Yep.
What was the purpose of having that information out there?
And some of the stuff is just they want to get eyeballs. They just want attention. And they want to draw people to their story, to their site, to their whatever.
And if you want to go even further with it,
yep,
they might have a connection with someone who's low level on the coaching staff, right? That person doesn't know everything that's going on.
Right, exactly.
So they're giving you their perception, not necessarily the truth.
Right, they're talking to the cornerback coach.
Yeah. And what is he going to necessarily know about how much they love Jared Stidham? You know what I'm saying? Or it could be just someone who's like in the marketing department. That's the problem. You don't know.
Right.
And then you don't know why they're giving it to you. Because the reporter's never going to tell you why they're telling you.
And it could be somebody who, like you said, who's in the marketing department who just wants to feel like they're involved. It's like, oh, yeah, I work for the Patriots. I have inside information. I can tell you something.
Yeah.
You know
so
I mean?
I know you're not getting it from Bill.
Yep.
I know you're not getting it from...
yeah, it didn't come from Bill.
Yeah. I know it's not coming from Josh.
Yep.
I know it's not coming from the Belichick kids.
I was just going to say, there's no way it came from his sons.
No.
I think one of them actually is technically like the defensive backs coach or something.
Even
though it seems like he
he's kind
calls
of like
the plays.
D coordinator.
He is kind of the D
quasi-D coordinator.
But he has like a fake like job title that's like definitely not what he actually does.
So what might be the agenda of putting it out there that, we love Jarrett Stidham?
Right.
I don't know. What could be the agenda? Could we be potentially driving up a price to move him for something?
Maybe.
Could we be dropping someone else's price that we're potentially trying to sign?
Yep.
Because we think we're comfortable with the quarterback we have. You always have to look at it with a little bit of suspicion.
Right. And based on last week's performance, thank God they didn't go with him so far from what we've seen.
Who?
Stidham.
He's still better than Hoyer.
Well, I mean, that's a given.
Christ.
Hoyer was... It couldn't have really gotten much worse based on how bad he played and all the mistakes he made. I mean, any backup in the league could have at least done that bad.
Yeah.
So it couldn't really have gotten worse. I'm just saying as far as Cam Newton, thank goodness we got him instead of throwing Stidham out there every week.
And by the way, remember, Schefter was the guy that said the Patriots in December, this was a couple of years ago, the Patriots wouldn't move Jimmy G for number 1 picks.
Right.
What did they move him for?
A number 2
Did they get
pick.
a number 1 pick?
They moved them for a second.
They did.
Moved them for a second.
Yeah.
All right. We were supposed to cut to commercial a while ago. I completely forgot. We went off on a tandem here.
A tandem? You mean a tangent?
A tangent. That's what I meant. What's a tandem?
Me and you together doing a podcast. That's a tandem.
We were a tandem doing a tangent there. and then I got a spooky story for the next 3 weeks on Halloween, so I'll give you one, and we'll get your opinion on it.
If we could just take a second to remind you, if you're ready to make an investment into some NFL, NBA, MLB, or NHL gear, you can get all of your officially licensed products at fanatics.com. And since you're already going there, we've left the Ray Route Network affiliate link in the description of this YouTube video. We'll also post it in the chat and on the chat on Sportscaster. We're not asking you to make a donation. We're not begging you for money. We're just saying you're going to buy something anyways. If you use our link, you get your gear, it helps out the show, and we can all be happy. Again, get your officially licensed sports gear at fanatics.com using the Ray Route Network affiliate link in the description and the chats of this stream.
That's right. So if you guys are going to get your NFL gear, your MLB gear, whatever it might be, go over to Fanatics and use the Ray Route code RAYRAUTH. All right.
He did a good job with that.
He did, right?
Yes.
Really good commercial.
Yeah.
See, Ray, Ben's giving you a compliment this time.
I'm proud of you, Ray.
He's not stomping on the dream like he did before. All right. So I got a spooky story next 3 weeks for Halloween.
Can I ask you a quick question before we get to this?
Yes.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know.
Okay.
This is a ghost one. This one, some of them can be explained, and some of them I feel like can't. So it either didn't happen, or the person had something in their brain where they believed it, or it did happen. But I don't know. I'm not trying to go to like a place that's like supposedly haunted and find out. You know what I don't know. I guess I do believe in ghosts. I don't know though, because there's like those old like mental institutions, right? Like the Danvers Mental Hospital. Isn't that one of them? And it's like abandoned and no one can go there?
Yeah, but okay, go ahead.
Right? Is that wrong?
You might be right. I think ghosts are stupid.
Okay. All right. So here's this one. It says, 9 years ago, I was playing music in this old studio I was given the keys to, and I was told I could stay as long as I wanted. I regularly used to crash on the couch and play throughout the night. I had the only key. One morning, I woke up with a photo of me asleep on the couch saved to my camera roll.
Okay.
Do you think someone just went in there while the lady was sleeping and just took a picture of her with their phone?
Yeah, or she was hammered and did it herself and didn't remember.
So that explains away the ghost factor, right?
Yeah.
All right. Because there were a couple other ones where I read and I'm like, either this just didn't happen or I don't know. There was no explanation from other ones. This one I'm like, well, someone could have came in while you was sleeping. Like the person who owned the studio and was like, let me just fuck with her and take a picture and then leave it there.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was a ghost who wanted to mess with her.
Yeah.
But some of the ones that I read, it was like, I live in this house where someone hung themselves 90 years ago. And then when I was going up the stairs where they hung themselves, I always feel like someone's like touching me. And I'm like, oh, well, that's really creepy.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
So you could buy a haunted house then, right? You wouldn't be worried?
I'd buy a house.
that has supposedly haunted from someone who hung themselves?
I 100% would.
All right.
I wouldn't buy a house where like murders took place in.
Touche.
Just
so
because.
you are nervous.
No. Just because you don't want to like
Bad omen?
be like, hey, should we put the couch here or over there?
Where the guy
Let's put it here because, when we moved in, there was still a little bit of pool of blood over there. So let's do it over here. No, not that I think it would be haunted. It's just like,
creepy.
Do I want that?
Right.
Do I want to think about that?
I agree.
I want to commit my own murders in my own house.
Touche.
And leave my own legacy.
It was Ben in the kitchen
with the candlestick.
With the candlestick.
That fucker hurts, I'll tell you.
What are you being for Halloween?
Excuse me?
What are you dressing up this year?
I'm sorry, am I 12?
I'm just saying, hey, I go to a Halloween party every year.
No.
What should I dress up as? Do you have any suggestions?
Superheroes are always easy.
That's true.
Any of the like slasher movie villains are always pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Let me think here.
How many people are going to be Joe Exotic?
Okay, that's exactly where I was going to go because I remember when Steve Irwin died.
Yep.
The crocodile hunter.
Yep.
When he died, that Halloween, like every other person went as some kind of crocodile hunter themed thing.
Right.
And that seems to always be the case. So you take one of the celebrities that have died recently and just go as one of their famous characters.
Nice.
That's a good idea.
Who's died recently?
I don't know.
Me neither. I'll have to look it up. I'll Google like 2020 celebrities who died.
I'll find out right now.
And I'll go as one of them. I'll go as their ghost.
A lot of dead baseball players recently.
All right, that's true, right? Couple legends recently passed away.
Oh, Eddie Van Halen recently passed away.
Eddie Van Halen, right? I could go as Van Halen.
You could go as no, I'm not going to recommend you go with that.
Okay.
I was going to say you could go as Black Panther, but
maybe not.
Someone might take offense to that.
I've never seen it either.
You could rock your Kobe jersey.
I could.
You could
Kobe. They just won the finals.
They did just win the finals. You could go as Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
I could. She was the lady who was in the Supreme Court, right?
Yes, very good.
Which is important, I heard.
It is very important.
Supreme Court is important here in America.
God bless you. Regis Philbin died.
Regis Philbin, there we go.
You could go as the
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
That was a great show. I used to watch that show all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You ever try and get on it?
No.
Yeah, there used to be
I've never tried to get on any.
No, you should. You know a lot of trivia.
I do.
You know how much money you could win?
Man, see, I watch Jeopardy like every night.
Yep.
Because I'm 1,000 years old.
Touche.
And Ed and I call each other during it.
Oh, Ed probably wins at his house.
I think if I could go as a team.
Oh, you and Ed? Oh my God.
Holy shit, we'd kill everyone.
They should do a thing. I suggest that to anyone watching. Try and figure out how Jeopardy can start doing teams, and we'll put Ben and Ed in there.
But I would have liked to have done Who Wants to Be a Millionaire because it's multiple choice and you can find the context clues in the question.
Yep.
So it makes it a lot easier to do. I could have actually probably done that. Do you know they're coming back with that other trivia game, the Weakest Link?
Are they really?
Yeah.
I remember that with the that lady.
British chick?
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. And then they just leave.
She ain't in it.
No, she's not.
No,
she's probably too old now.
I can't remember the actress's name that's doing it.
Right.
Yeah. Let me see if there's any more good celebrity. There's a lot.
Regis Philbin's the one to go with, I think.
Yeah.
That's my bet.
You could do that.
Regis Philbin it is. I got to get like a wig or something now. I don't know how to dress up as him. What do you have to wear, a suit?
And you've got to talk like this all the time.
All right, we got to wrap it up here.
Wait, that was the only ghost story we had?
That was the only ghost story. I'll do another one next week.
Oh, all
yeah,
right.
week by week. Maybe I'll do 2 the week of Halloween.
Jane Lynch.
To really get into it.
Thank you, Ray.
Jane Lynch, who's that? Oh, the lady who was on the show?
She was in Glee, I think.
She's in Glee.
She was in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Okay. Yep.
She was the store manager of Smart Tech, I think it was.
Yes, I remember now. Yep.
She was in 2.5 Men as like Charlie's therapist.
Oh, speaking of people who just passed away, the lady from 2.5 Men who was also in Mr. Deeds.
Conchata Ferrell.
Yes. Yeah, she passed away.
She was funny in that show. In 2.5 Men.
Yeah, she was funny in Mr. Deeds too.
I like Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds is a good movie, man. Very underrated.
It's so dumb.
It is. It is.
My favorite scene in that whole movie is no one else's favorite scene. But he's in the mansion like day one or he just woke up and he finds a water fountain. Yeah. A water bubbler. And he goes to it and he goes, Hawaiian Punch.
Yes.
That's my favorite scene in the whole movie. It's so dumb.
Hey, when you're that rich, man, then you can get Hawaiian Punch water bubblers.
If you were unlimitedly wealthy.
Yep.
That didn't make any sense.
Unlimitedly wealthy. No, that you have unlimited money. Dave Portnoy said that.
If you had fuck you money,
yep,
and you could put a water bubbler in with any kind of beverage,
yep,
what would it be?
Honestly, I'm so boring. I don't really drink anything. You know what I like though? Newman's lemonade in the summer.
Okay,
that stuff's bomb. I love that lemonade. Probably that.
All right,
I would do that.
Pink or yellow?
Yellow, normal, straight lemonade. How about you?
10 years ago, I would have said like Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
That'd be dope.
Now you're gonna go like Poland Springs water instead.
No, yeah, I just want that freshness.
Tap water.
Oh, that fresh Poland spring water. It's the best.
It is.
It's the best.
It is.
Everyone's like, I like my Smart water. I like my Fiji water. Fuck you.
Yep.
Poland Springs is better than all that shit.
It is.
It's delicious. I will tell you the one that's awful.
Dasani.
Yes.
Dasani's, yeah. It's like Pepsi's version of
yes,
water, right?
Exactly. It's so bad.
It is.
You can taste the minerals in it.
Right.
It's disgusting.
You got to go Poland Springs.
Poland Springs or get the fuck out.
Yep, that's right.
That's the name of the title.
We should be a sponsor for Poland Springs with that type of endorsement.
Dude, I'm the biggest Poland Springs fan there is.
Yep.
I will rep you for lifetime supply of Poland Springs.
Absolutely.
You don't need to pay me in cash. Just give me 365 bottles of Poland Spring every year, January 1st, delivered to my doorstep. I will do whatever they want.
That's a deal. Poland Springs, we're gonna text you. I'm gonna find your number. Get it from Joe Rogan.
Do I have that number in my phone?
You might. All right, Patriots predictions. What's the score? I have 31-13. It's going to be an easy win, I think.
I'm going to go with 24-10.
24-10. Okay. Either way, we both have them covering the spread. Go Pats. Find me tomorrow night on Sportscaster at 9 o'clock with Ray. See you guys next week.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.